the stone relief carving of what looks like a giant light bulb. Okay, yeah, it may look like that at first, and the man who saw this and at first thought it was a light bulb. Yeah, unfortunately, we see what we want to see, and when we see something that looks like a light bulb, we automatically think that is what it is. We don't try and explain it any other way, and we try and find as much as we can to prove that theory. You look closer at the base of what looks like a light bulb, and it's a lotus leaf, okay? The filament inside, what looks like might be a filament inside the bulb, is a snake, and the thing holding it up at the end, it's two arms being held out, lifting it up, in adoration. It is. Once you examine it carefully, you notice that it's more religious than technical. Okay, and okay, yeah, it may look like a light bulb, but it's not. So, the ancient alien theorists, they haven't really done their homework, I'm afraid to say. The more you research into ancient Egypt, the more you discover that the textbooks are, in fact, right, and it's these modern theories that are wrong, and, the people who have come up with this haven't really done their homework. They're not Egyptologists, okay, they're not archaeologists, and rarely are they historians either. So we've got to be very careful, because I've seen several controversial documentaries where they've stated all of this, and they've published this work, and it's wrong, and they should have done their homework. I mean, I haven't published my book yet. I have done some. Okay, I did put a YouTube video on about how I think they lifted the stones using EM. I may have to delete that. I just thank God it wasn't that popular, because I need to do a bit more research into this. Okay, and it could be false. It could be false information.
The thing is, though, although Edward Leeds Scoulin claims he knew the secrets of how the ancient Egyptians lifted the stones, that's not to say that he is correct, that they used the same methods as him. There are many different ways of moving large stones and building these megalithic monuments, and we are talking about a much later time when Ed built his Coral Castle, when the technology he used was available. I have made the same mistake as many other of these theorists, where I saw something and applied my knowledge to it. And because that's what I knew, I didn't take any other possibilities seriously until learning more about them. This may have been the case with Ed, but I think the best example of this is Christopher Dunn, who believes the Great Pyramid of Giza isn't a tomb for the king and queen, but a hydrogen generator. Why? Because he's an engineer and that's what he specialises in. That's all he could see. It doesn't make him right. He's just found an elaborate and very fanciful application for this stone monument. However, when we look at the bigger picture, that isn't consistent with the original concept of a pyramid structure, something he would have realised if he'd studied Egyptology. The first ever pyramid of ancient Egypt developed from mastabas, which were tombs stacked on top of one another, to give us the step pyramid by Imhotep. So what? This was all preparation for the Great Pyramid? The Great Giza Power Plant? What about all the other Great Pyramids? The Bent Pyramid, the Red Pyramid? Were they all built as hydrogen generators or preparations for such? Come on. Although Ed's method of building Coral Castle was very effective and efficient, it's not necessarily the same method the ancients used. They may have achieved the same results using more primitive methods which have been lost through the sands of time. And although we may not be able to explain how they achieved these results using those more primitive methods, that's our problem. But I'll bet many Egyptians today could tell you exactly how. I've seen how they drilled into the stone using hand tools when I was at the West Bank, and I once saw a YouTube video of how Egyptians today moved a giant stone using the log rolling method, which was actually very effective. Surprisingly effective. We don't go jumping to conclusions, and one must always begin with the most elementary and relative suggestions that might just as easily explain that which at first seems inexplicable, especially when explaining an era like this, one of the most ancient civilizations. However, most of you have been brainwashed to believe that it would have been impossible. But once again, that's a lie to push this ancient alien theory. I've been to the Great Pyramid at Giza, where it's seen better days. I've been to Aswan and seen where they hand-carved the obelisk using granite stones. I've been to the British Museum and seen a huge stone relief where Assyrian slaves are all pulling on ropes, one of their enormous stone monuments. These are the methods that were used during that time. There's no doubt about it. There is proof. However, there's no proof whatsoever for all these other half-cocked theories which are being popularised by these new age deceivers on TV, including on the History Channel. Wow. That is beyond belief. Please stop believing everything you see on TV. It's Project Bluebeam in your living room. There's no need to stage something in the sky. Look at how many of you actually believe in this stuff now. It's scary. I've even seen people get angry about it, yet they refuse to get up off their backsides and do their own research. Oh, because that's too boring, of course. Yeah, I just want to see it dramatised on TV instead of actually picking up a book, instead of seeing the evidence in a museum or at the ancient sites themselves. No, I'll just let the mainstream media teach me it. You're not seriously going to be that foolish, are you? These are very dangerous times we are living in. Times where Satanists can rewrite history, replace it with nonsense like this using useful idiots who have no idea what they're talking about, and influence the way every man and woman thinks through TV, even if it's totally outrageous or immoral. There's something else I want to go through about an ancient site I visited over here called Stonehenge. Now, when I was there, something just didn't feel right. It didn't seem genuine. I took some pictures of the site and some of the stones, which look like they have been molten into shape. It's very weird. And one of them at Stonehenge, and also at Avebury I think, looked like the molten rock had been poured over something, perhaps covering something up. That's what immediately sprung to mind. And I thought, this isn't genuine. There's a cover-up here. And then I saw the footage of them moving all the stones around back in the 1900s. But I'll leave that for another video. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, be very careful. They're lying about everything and you can't trust what you see on the TV. Take care and God bless.
Hello.
Okay. Thank you. under here.
يا حاج هي وين؟
بص عندك في وشك تمشي قدام في النور.
Look here, they're holding one here, but it has been damaged.
Okay.
بص كده يا باشا، بص كده هنا. هنا هذا العقد بتاع الإله حتقول إله الماء.
This is the necklace of goddess Hathor.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a private one. And here she's did the justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the favorite goddess. And here they are give the offering, the temple, the king here when has been as a prince, we can know that he's a young prince from that's here.
Yeah.
He's already take all his hair away off and he lived that part as the prince. And the prince he give Hathor stick and the temple in the top. He gave the temple as offering for her.
Okay.
That is the one what
Here
was
it
like
is.
asked.
The famous light bulb. So, what is it really then? It's not a light bulb, is it?
No.
It's very religious.
No.
We've got a lotus flower here, haven't
Yeah,
we?
is look here. Is stick is snake, and is look like is light
Yeah.
or electricity, but that is not true. But that it was using with one of the high priests, and there is snake inside and the symbol of lotus flower here.
Yeah.
That is mean they was give it as offering because some of them they give praying.
Yeah.
like the Saqqarah.
Like this here, they've got their arms in
Yes,
adoration.
they take it on them hands
Yeah.
and them heads.
What do these say next to it?
Yeah, that is part of the celebrations, and they give it as offering on them in them festival, the festival of the goddess Hathor, when she's dead, her festival with the high priests, and that was part of the offering, but
Okay.
is not electricity.
No.